Hello, man. How are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
So far, so good. Still alive after a hectic day, actually today. So, how is your life going on?
Oh, my life is uh, good, thank you for asking.
That's good.
I had a working day today,
Mhm.
despite that it's a day off usually, normally.
Yeah. Despite this is a day off, you still work.
Yes, sometimes I take a day for work
Mhm.
in order to get much bigger salary.
I see, of course. You work overtime. You work extra, maybe to save some cash for the
Um,
rainy days.
I would like to save some cash, but the most important goal of my working is paying credit for my apartment.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, Mr. Alexander. Of course, this week we are not so many people. It's like face to face and one on one kind of meeting, but that is okay, no problem. But I forgot your nationality. May I ask where you're from?
Yes, I'm from Russia. I'm
Russia.
Russian.
And you
Yes,
you live in Russia.
I live in Russia, right?
Very good. And what do you do for a living?
I work as a driver
As a
for,
driver
yes, for 20 years.
for 20 years. I see.
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite a lot for 20 years.
Yes, and I'm fed up of driving, and now I'm trying mm, to study a new job. I'm trying to become a developer.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, yeah. You mentioned about it a couple of weeks ago, maybe,
yes,
if I'm not
maybe
wrong.
last week, maybe
Maybe
last
last week. Yeah, yeah, possible,
weekend.
possible. Yeah, as you can see, hold on a second. Let me open the prompt again, if I can. And Roy is joining. The laptop is not responding very well, but that's okay. I'm going to just share the screen. Hello, Roy. How are you, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, hello teacher. How are you doing? Oh,
So far, so good. Thank you. Thank you very much. How about you? Are you fine? Are you doing good?
yeah, I'm doing good. And
Amazing.
how are you all doing? Oh, only three members, right,
Yeah,
tonight?
yeah. Today, yeah, yeah. We are just all three people. That's okay. How was your week? How was your day? How was your life going on?
Yeah, everything was so fantastic. Event going well. And
Amazing.
I mean, 29th October, I'm gonna get my another exam, so I'm getting prepared. And in my free time, I'm practicing my English here. I'm
Mhm.
not going outside, not even hanging out with my friends or doing something, anything. Oh, going outside. I'm kind of confined to my room here.
Mhm. I see. As long as you're happy with this lifestyle, or you're okay actually, as long as you're okay with this
Yes, I'm.
lifestyle, that is enough. That is quite
Yeah.
promising, right?
Even when I'm getting exhausted, then I'm feeling like I need to go online and talk to my friends here, and I'm meeting a lot of people, so I'm
Mhm.
getting so happy instantly.
Amazing. I mean, Roy, you can use our WhatsApp groups whenever you want. You can create a, how can I say, Zoom link, share with
Okay.
people. People can join, I think. Because I am very busy and tired. Recently, I only have Zoom meetings on Saturdays at 7 p.m. one at 7 p.m. and the other one is at 9 p.m. right now, Turkey time, or based on time in Turkey. And if you can, for example, tomorrow, why not? Just share the link and people might join. If you can talk, we can talk about everything, right? Possible. I mean,
Yeah.
you can use the WhatsApp groups or Telegram group that's you're in. Okay.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
teacher, actually, I'm not conducting any Zoom session currently because of the exam. So I'm just joining the different Zoom sessions like you and some other teachers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to join them just to practice English and get in touch with you. And maybe after my exam, I will try to conduct some meetings. Then
Hopefully.
maybe I will share the link. Or
Hopefully.
yeah, thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, Mr.
Teacher.
Alexander, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I would like to clarify one thing about Turkey time. Could you say what time is it now?
It is
in
9:10 p.m.
9 p.m., right?
9:10 p.m. right now.
Oh, 19. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's the same like in Moscow.
All right. Possible.
Okay.
Possible.
In
Possible.
my city, it's 10 p.m. Okay, now it's now I will know because I was confused about time. Thank you.
Mhm. I understand. I mean, in Turkey, they do not adjust time. Never. Sometimes if you adjust the time like one hour ahead, in that case, you have to change. You have to just check it because Turkey doesn't, you know, I mean, adjust time. It has been years, a couple of years. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Right now it works. So every Saturday, hopefully, as long as I am okay, I conduct 2 meetings, one for all levels at 7 p.m. Turkey time, one for advanced levels at 9 p.m. Based on the time in Turkey. Okay, so let me share the prompt once again.
Yes, teacher.
Yeah, the prompt says the government money should be invested in teaching science rather than other subjects, so as to help the country make progress and develop. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Very tough and solid, you know, statement, actually, challenging one. First thing first, I think we need to talk about the money that government gets. Maybe, I mean, normally the governments get the money from the taxes that people have to just pay. What else? Do you want to talk about that? How do governments normally get money? Only from their own people or tourism, exports? Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Well, could I start?
Sure, of course. We're only 3 people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree that government government money should be invested in teaching science because it's about our future.
Mhm.
Yes, and according to the salary of Russian teachers, for example, they are, how to say,
It
they
is not
don't pay.
satisfactory.
They don't pay and they don't spend enough money. I think they pay more to military according to military salary.
Mhm.
Maybe it's a tactic of Russian of
Mhm.
government.
Mhm.
They think that military is more important.
Mhm. Than
It's about
education.
balance, and I'm not sure that they are right.
Mhm. Okay, now you're talking about something really huge, but let's just narrow it down first. let's just talk about the education right now, teaching science rather than some other subjects.
Yes.
First, let's deal with it. If we have time, we can talk about some other stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
Mr. Alexander, thank you. Of course, we're going to talk about that. Let's see what Mr. Roy has got to say about this very fact.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, teacher, for giving me a chance to talk about this. But before that, you may be asked as about the source of the government's money.
Sure.
So this is the first one. Then I think there are a lot of sources from that our government always get this money that always invested. There's always invest for ourselves and for country development. So here sources like a lot of people go abroad, like we Bangladesh. I mean, from my country, a lot of people they're staying in Saudi Arabia, and they're staying in UK and America or some other countries. And a lot of people go and they actually in term of people, they're just going outside and even they're just sending money to their family, even to the government, even to the country. So it's I think it's a what do you say actually in a word? I forget the word.
I said the tax.
Oh, remittance.
Remittance. Okay.
Yeah. I forget the word. Yeah, sorry. So from remittance, we really got a lot of money. So I think this is one of the sources, great sources in my country that we observe and we always think about. So there might be a lot of sources like we're importing some of our dresses, and to import dresses, my country may be in highest rank. Yeah.
All right.
So to earn money from abroad, actually government has a lot of sources. And it is not only about the money from abroad, but I think our own country has a lot of money from ourselves, like own citizens here, and we pay a lot of taxes in different fields and different products and different our lifestyles that we get in our life, like in different commodities, daily commodities we get. So we pay taxes, and this is how our government always get money, and also get money from different sources from abroad. So these are basically the sources our government always get money. And here the main topic here that this government money should be invested to science education or somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like
that is true. Okay.
So I think it is so true, because we should invest in our government, as we are not so developed country, and even our country is trying to grow, even try to build up more industries, and our country people, they're getting educated, and even a lot of people, they are just showing their interest to work in industries, even they're developing. And I think in some of my districts here, we already got a lot of industries. So I think a lot of people, they're getting their employment. So I think it's quite good. And to talk about the science, basically, so it's so important for the young generation, basically, because everything that we're getting related to our life, it's science. And if we don't have our knowledge over science and science education, then it will be like useless. And here I observe some of the people, they always try to avoid science in their life, even they don't want to confess that it is science who is providing us all of the comfortable things here and all of the easiest ways to lead our life. So I think here science is a great part that always started a revolution long time ago, even it's also running. And I think in the nearest decades, we will see something miracles with the help of science. So I think if we don't have any knowledge over science, then it will be like ridiculous, and it will be like useless life that we're leading.
True.
So to invest money on science education, it will be a great step that I always do suffer, because it is science education which will build our young generation to extent level, I think. And And here, our young generation, they will get a lot of knowledge. They will get acquainted with a lot of devices, even science discoveries, inventions, and a lot of things. And then they will get all those things stuff easier in their life. As we are not getting, even me, I'm getting all of these steps. But if I'm talking about my father and those generations, so they were not so much acquainted with these devices and science knowledge or scientific knowledge. Even they didn't have any analytical knowledge over the scientific discoveries or these inventions. So now we are getting, even our young generations, our children, and even our brothers and sisters, those are young and child, so they're just getting them easier. Like I needed to learn how to run a laptop, but I think my nephew or my niece, they're getting these devices like cell phone. They're
Yeah,
just contacting, they're just running it, and they're just moving all of these steps. And even they already memorized all of these steps, how to do these things. Even they don't have their ABC on this computer. So I would
exactly.
say that, yeah, it will be a great step if we focus on our scientific education.
Okay, so anyway, of course, I mean, however you're approaching the statements, you're right. Yeah, I mean, there is always, there is a kind of example that there were two people who were sitting in front of each other, and there was a number, for example, 9. So I see 9, you see 6, and
Yes,
both of us are right. But
right.
who is right again? Both of us. So it means that from, however angle you are approaching the issue, the topic, that is somehow right and true, right? Yeah,
Yes, teacher. So,
thank
so
you.
what's your opinion regarding this topic?
My opinion, I am always in favor of balance. Only science doesn't work, because we need everything. We need education, we need economy, we need tourism, we need culture, we need
Yeah,
morals. I mean, only science doesn't work. Of course, it is super, super important,
yeah,
undoubtedly,
yeah,
undoubtedly. But I think I am in favor of balance. But of course, let's say, how can I say, putting importance on science should outweigh the other aspects, but
yeah,
not totally. I mean, we should not get rid of the other subject matters totally. That is a mistake, I think. My own opinion. Thank you very much. Let's
yeah.
see what,
That's really true.
yeah, let's see what Mr. Alexander has got to say about this very thing. Which one do you think is important? Governments should only invest money in the science or some other aspects as well, in schools, in universities specifically. What do you think?
Um, I think. Well, I think I'm agree with you, as you already mentioned, that we shouldn't spend money only on science, right? Yeah. Because we need a balance. If we have a weak part of our, I don't know, our activity system, right? And this part will be destroy. I don't know, for example, medicine and other spheres.
Of course, you're right. I mean, somehow, if all of these fields, let's call them, all of these fields are somehow related. Speaking of, science, the budget, the capital, the funds, the money that the government is investing in, let's say, science, should be managed by someone, let's say by the president, right? So what does a president do? I mean, or let's say, let me rephrase that. Normally, what did the president study? So he or she studied, political science, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is not the science that we are talking about. Imagine that your president or a country's president is not a kind of
Yes.
up-to-date person, is a kind of, you know, old and traditional person. So that in that person's mentality, there is no place for science. So he or she is not going to support. Understand? So
Yeah.
somehow they are related to each other. So if we want our president to support science, automatically the country needs to have a high level of economy. So the country, the president needs money. So how does the money come? As Mr. Roy said, what are the sources of income, sources of money actually for the government, right? In that scenario, you have to improve your tourism, you have to improve your agriculture, you have to improve your, I don't know, exports and different things. So I would say all of these things are related and they are equally important in order to give a chance for science to grow in the country. The science cannot grow automatically on its own. So you need some sort of assist, some sort of, how can I say, help from the government to support it, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think they both, science and other fields, should support each other.
Absolutely. Whether we like it or not, I mean, the reality is like that. The reality is all of these things are related. With
It's about uh, mm, if we try to save money from tourism or other fields, we help science to improve their investigations, searching, and they can invite some technologies that can help us to earn more money.
Absolutely. You know, this is very funny that everything that we are working on somehow leads to money and economy, right? At the end of the day. So why do
Yeah.
we want to improve our sports? Why do we want to improve our tourism, agriculture, even science, even education? Eventually, all of these fields are related or lead to money, economy, right? Somehow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to add something here, teacher.
Sure,
Like,
of course.
yeah, and here we have a lot of branches to a lot of fields to invest our government money. Like, if I'm talking about basically education sector, then there will be like social activities and social science. And
That's true.
if we are not investing our money on educating our children about social science, then they will not get the humanism. Actually, they cannot grow their humanity, even
Yeah.
their humanism in themselves, and they will not any knowledge. They will not have any knowledge about actually social works and social science. Like nowadays, I observe a lot of people from different countries. They're doing a lot of social works. So they're helping people, and they're just helping even Ethiopia or in some of the other countries in Africa or some other parts. They are like they're not getting a meal once a day.
Yeah,
They're
that's
not
true.
getting. So
That's unfortunately.
if we are not working on this social works or with the social works, then it will be like that we're not helping people, even we don't have our knowledge over these things, that what's happening around the world. Even if I'm talking about literature, then we will forget all the great writings, all the great arts of the great writers, like William Shakespeare in the 15th century. So he wrote some great dramas, and a lot of 37 in count that we know of. So these are great dramas even in the modern centuries. So modern century. So I think that if we don't have our knowledge over this literature or all of the branches of this education, then it will be like we're lacking something. And to talk about to science rather than other subjects, obviously I will support that yeah, we should invest money on science to advance our children, young generation. But at a time, we should have our money budget for our other fields and faculties because they're also great in our society. And you already talked about political science. So if we don't have our knowledge on political science, then we cannot be a political leader or political personality.
Absolutely.
Even we cannot handle these things. Basically, to be a politician, it's a great experience we should have over a lot of politicians, what actually they did in their life and how they became famous, and even they did a lot of works in their life. So if we want to be a politician, then obviously we should have this knowledge of this. So everything is interlinked, I would say. Yeah.
Exactly, absolutely. Everything is, as you said, interlinked, intermingled, somehow complete each other. So of course, speaking of literature, as you mentioned, we do need literature in order to have modern society, a sort of ethical society. Of course, we do need, moreover, we need critics who can criticize the current, situations or issues of in the society, so that people can improve themselves, people can, level up in order to just be great, modern, civilized citizens of the country. So, I mean, however you look, we need everything. We need butchers. We need teachers, we need butchers, we need artists, we need critics, we need sportsmen and women, we need businessmen, businesswomen, entrepreneurs, politicians. Everybody is related. Everybody has, even if the how can I say, the portion is very small, but everybody has a role to play in the whole society, so to speak. That's why I said, I mean, personally speaking, as I mentioned earlier, I am not in favor of the whole, I mean, the situation that the whole budget goes directly and totally on science. That is not a good idea, because we need all different things as well, right?
Yes.
But of course, as you said, the science is really important, has a key role in terms of differentiation in the whole world, that you want to just stand out, and how can I say, show that you're a developed country, you have something to offer, first for yourself, then for the world, and etc., etc. But everything needs time, takes time. We need to be systematic, work smart. If it is possible, work hard, but smart. I am in favor of working smart rather than working, just working, working no matter, but just work. I mean, it doesn't work, so to speak.
Yes, that's really great.
Very good. Maybe Mr. Alexander wants to add something, maybe disagrees. Please go ahead.
No, I agree, totally agree.
I agree that.
So you mean we need all of these stuff? Can you just talk about that?
I think that just that in different countries there are different balance, and not all so useful. Some of them are
waste of money, waste of time, you mean?
Yes. And because of that, they are not effective.
All right.
I can't give example.
You can or can't?
I cannot give
examples. All right.
I cannot.
That's okay. That's okay. So, what else, Mr. Roy? Do you want to add something?
Yeah. I add something like, I want to ask you, like, what are the dominating stuffs or fields in your country that your government get money from the sources?
Speaking of Turkey, of course, I'm Iranian, but I live in Turkey. Iran's situation is completely different. Turkey's situation is, as far as I know, is highly dependent on tourism and taxes. I mean,
Oh,
the amount of taxes here in Turkey is astronomical, really huge, really huge. Even if you want to buy something, whatever it is, 18% directly goes to the government. And of course, there are some other percentages. I forgot the names. They create some name for that. I mean, in order to just collect money from people. But speaking of Turkey again, tourism is number one. Second is tax. I mean, it's a
oh,
highly
yeah.
dependent on tourism. Of course, they have good industries. Textile industries is fantastic, as well as in terms of technology. Also, they are good. They are creating telephones, laptops, even electrical cars, and
Wow.
something else I forgot. I mean, but highly tourists and taxes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
Mhm.
And I know even Turkey is it's already advanced and developed
Yeah, we can say that. Not totally, but I mean, it is far better
rather
than
than
lots of
other Asian countries.
exactly lots of countries in Middle East. That is
Yeah.
true. That is true. Yeah. How about your country?
In my country, I think the first one is exporting stuffs,
Mhm.
and second one is
Export
remittance.
exporting what, for example? What do you export?
Exporting stuffs like dresses, textile.
Textile. I
Yeah,
see.
and we
Mhm.
export dresses. We export foods also.
Food.
Yeah,
You mean
our
fruit or
country is
food? What?
agricultural.
Agriculture.
Food.
Food.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And
Mhm.
our country is agricultural country. That's why we export, foods. And here another field is like, yeah, Texas is also a dominant stuff here. I mean,
Yeah.
dominant field that our government always get money from that. And these are main factors here for
Mhm.
our government source.
Source of income for
Yeah.
the governments. Okay. How about Russia, Mr. Alexander? Do you want to talk about that? What about the Russian
Okay,
government?
I'm not good in politics, but I think
We are not debating
Russia.
politics, actually. We are talking about the
Yes.
general overview of the country. Yeah.
I'm. I think the Russian government get money from selling oil.
Oil. Mhm,
Yes,
mhm, mhm.
Mm.
and maybe from taxes as well, but I don't
Maybe,
know how much. Yeah,
maybe.
as as we
That is the
as we all
estimation.
not maybe as we all pay
Yeah, yeah.
taxes, and maybe we export something. I don't know. For example, as I am learning developing, I know many Russian developers works for foreign orders,
Mhm.
clients.
Okay, like what? I mean, which sectors are very active?
Like I don't know, maybe Google, for example, or other people who want to make a website, and they there are a lot of Russian developers who can help them to
Mhm.
do it.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that is true
Yeah.
because in a lot of American films, they are depicting Russia as the dominant country of hackers. Mostly, there are a lot of
Yes,
hackers,
yes.
and I don't know how much of that is correct, but generally speaking, that is what we are seeing in Hollywood movies, which means that
I think it's because they always see us as an enemy.
yeah, it makes sense. That is true. Yeah. That is true. But of course, it wants to show that uh, how can I say Russia is really good in computer science in terms of coding,
Yeah.
hacking, programming, this kind of stuff. This is the first impression that I personally get from Hollywood films. That's why not they are, for example, showing some people from different countries who are really good at computers,
Yes.
hacking stuff, blah, blah, blah. So most probably there is something going on. But of course, what you said, it totally makes sense as a form of, enemy, a political enemy. So it makes sense. That is true. Very good.
Yes. And it's also true that they already have their grade over, command over computer science.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Very good. I can see a new person, Morshedban Zaidan. If I am not mispronouncing your name, welcome aboard. We have almost very limited time. You are very late, right? Can you hear me? Maybe he or she, most probably, yeah, he.
Morshed,
Hello.
yeah, I can hear you.
Hello, man. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So far, so good. I'm still alive. Thank you. Thanks for asking. You are very late today,
Okay.
but very briefly, where are you calling from?
I'm from Yemen.
Yemen. Okay. Could you please very briefly talk about the system in your country? Because we talked about this prompt, as you can see, the government money should be invested in teaching science rather than other subjects, so as to help the country make progress and develop. How much do you agree or disagree with this? Speaking of your own country, very briefly.
About education or what?
Yeah, education. I mean, do you think that the government should spend all of its budget on education? And if yes, do you think that the government again should government spend the whole money on science only, or on different fields of education as well? What do you think?
In my country, the government, they don't send enough money to education.
Mhm.
Maybe there is spend the money and play football, to play football, and anything else is not important.
I see. Okay, you mean that education is not important in your country, and the government just
No.
pays attention, does not pay attention to
Yeah,
education so much.
some school they want money to do something, but they just send the money in football and anything. It's not useful for people.
I understand. So you mean that
Yeah.
in nutshell, the government is wasting the money that
Yeah.
actually it gets from people through taxes or some other stuff.
Morshed, my friend, I want to ask you, like, what is the literacy rate of your country?
Later. What did you say?
What is the literacy rate of your country?
How educated your people are? I think, yeah, I mean, there's very noisy background. Yeah,
Maybe it's not
is
so.
that, yeah, so a kind of appropriate situation. How about Mr. Alexander? What is the literacy rate in your country? How educated, Russians are, let's say?
How educated Russians,
Yeah, generally speaking.
generally speaking. Um, I don't know. Usually, how to say it? there is a stereotype that Russians are foolish. Maybe because many people lived in villages and they didn't study a lot, and some of people, they are not educated. Now, lately, people try to be, how to say, to study in universities, because they think it will help them to get better job. And young people try not to stay in villages because they
there is no
they are not-
opportunity
they-
for finding a
yeah, they're
job.
not sure that they can survive,
Hmm.
and they all try to get to the big cities.
Big cities.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And,
I see.
and it became how to say, modern, became, well,
Become modern, to become civilized.
modern.
Okay.
Yes.
I see.
But I always think about Russians' weather there in the winter season, and they're like snowy weather and minus 30 degrees centigrade. It prevails in your country.
Yes, in some parts of Russia it can be 30 degrees, 40.
I cannot imagine
But
that.
I can't believe it. Yes.
Yeah,
Actually, it is so tough to believe it. Actually.
exactly. Because if you just try to experience that, you have to say goodbye to your life.
I cannot survive there, maybe.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And even if I think about Turkey, then I always imagine like some beautiful people, beautiful cities, and yeah, a lot of established people there.
Exactly. Exactly. Very good, guys. Of course, we have less than a minute. It was very lovely conversation, a different one, like face to face. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Take care of yourselves. Have a lovely
Yeah.
time. Take care.
Thank you, teacher. It's a great pleasure to meet you here, even to talk to you and get a chance to meet a
Thank
lot
you.
of people here, basically.
Of
But unfortunately, tonight we get on a less numbers here. But it is not the great fact, because we already enjoyed our time, and even I
That's
didn't imagine that how time just
fly.
away. Yeah.
That's true. All right.
Thank you all so much.
My pleasure, man. Take care of yourselves. Have a good time. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Thank
See you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Stay
See you.
happy.
See you.